You're listening to Soap Dirt, the latest in television entertainment news.
Hey there, B&B fans. Today, I want to talk about a disastrous pairing that I feel like the CBS soap is considering, like they're pushing on us. I actually think it would be a terrible couple, but they keep dropping hints that they may pair Finn and Hope Logan. There are at least 5 reasons this is a terrible idea. I think it would fizzle instead of sizzle, and it would infuriate both the Forrester siblings, Thomas and Steffy. We are going to unwrap all of this, but first, please subscribe if you have not. So there's been some chatter here and there whenever Finn and Hope share scenes, and there's some fans that have been saying for a while, oh, they're about to get together. And I got to say, I just haven't noticed a vibe between them, like a couple vibe. I mean, frankly, I haven't. She has great chemistry with Thomas. In the past, she's had good chemistry with Liam. And Finn, of course, has great chemistry with Steffy, but the doctor with the, fashion maven, I don't feel it. And a lot of people don't. So plus with Finn and Hope's parents getting married, the biggest vibe I just get off them is friendly-ish. Like most of their conversations are around other people, not them seeking each other out just to talk or to be together. She consoled him after Sheila Carter supposedly died. That was extremely platonic. But on the opening episode of this week, on Monday, I got this feeling that Bold is about to try and push this couple on us, even though most people do not want it. Steffy and Finn have a huge following as a couple, but the writers seem determined to either break them up entirely or at least put her back into some kind of love triangle with Liam and Finn, where in the past it's been her and Hope and Liam. I mean, granted, Steffy and Finn, Steffy and Liam have a following as well, but a lot of fans, really don't want them back together given how cruel that Liam has been to her in the past and, of course, the constant waffling with her and Hope. And as for Hope, there's a big pile of people who want her with Thomas. There's another big pile of people that want her back with Liam and hate the idea of her with Thomas, and some people that want her with anybody but Liam or Thomas. But in the mix of all of this, I have not seen any kind of huge support, any kind of huge tidal wave of people pushing for Hope with Finn. There's a few people, but it's just not a lot. And on Monday's episode, we had Finn massaging Hope to try and help her headache. And even that massage, it felt platonic. Hope wasn't like daydreaming about boinking him like when she was daydreaming about boinking Thomas whenever Liam was near her, And he did say to her after that, "You're beautiful. You have a smile that lights up the world. You deserve the best. Someone special is going to come along when you least expect it." And then he said, "Any man would be lucky to be with you." And that was all in the midst of him also telling her again, Thomas isn't good enough for her. She needs to stay away from Thomas. So, I still don't feel any chemistry between them, but there's this dialogue, and I feel like B&B is doing this very forced dialogue to lay the groundwork for a pairing that I think the majority of fans don't want to see and are going to dislike if it manifests. So just real quick, I've got 5 reasons that I think this Hope and Finn pairing would be a huge ratings fail in addition to angering Steffy and Thomas. So the first thing is, if Hope's with Finn, that means Steffy's going to be with Liam, right? I mean, inevitably. Right away, that's just the first reason that I think pairing the doctor and the blonde is, problematic. It would mean the instant end of his marriage and him being with his wife. And Finn and Steffy are great together. But if it falls apart, we all know Liam is right there, ready and willing and hoping to scoop her up. As far as I'm concerned, Liam doesn't deserve another chance with Steffy. I don't think he's changed. I will never, ever forget get her on the ground, groveling on the sidewalk, hanging onto his leg, pregnant, begging him to stay while he walked out on her without a backwards look. It was cold. That and then the years of waffling, all a deal breaker for me. Liam has not changed. He's talked about changing. He's developed some self-awareness, but he's not changing because he's still trying to work his way in to be in a triangle and waffle with her, but making her be the waffler. So I just, big reason one. Reason two, Hope with Finn means either no Thomas or a rivalry with Thomas, which I think is a bad idea. Hope being with the doctor would definitely end things officially with her and Thomas. Yes, Thomas left town, but there's still a lot of unfinished business, a lot of unresolved things, no closure. They're basically, to me, on a break now. You can call it a breakup if you want. I think it's a break, however you want to see it. But there's lots of potential and there's good ratings. Whether you love or hate them, people do tune in to see them, even if they tune in and then go on social media and rage about them. So if Hope got with Finn, that could cause a love triangle with her, him, and Thomas, which I think would be very bad because it might cause Thomas to backslide and on the changes he's made and go back to his old scheming ways. Or otherwise, we have heartbroken Thomas, heartbroken Douglas, lots more drama. I just think it's problematic. My third thing, and I've mentioned this a couple of times, but I want to say this so thoroughly. There's just a total lack of chemistry there. I think it's critical to reiterate, there is no romantic vibe coming off of them, not at all. Even when he had his hands on her today, massaging and then saying those nice things, it felt so forced. There was nothing there. They seemed like siblings or cousins or friends from work, the kind of friendly but polite relationship you have with someone of the opposite sex that you are not attracted to and never will be. That's the vibe I get from them. And that's why today's dialogue just didn't sit on Monday's dialogue. I'm recording this Monday night for y'all to listen to on Tuesday. So that's why Monday's dialogue didn't sit right with me. Finn talking about how beautiful she is and any man lucky to have her. It felt to me like somebody talking about a beautiful painting or statue in a museum. They recognize the beauty, but they're not trying to take it home with them. They're not getting emotionally involved with it. It's like, oh, that's nice to look at. I see zero chemistry. Like I said, even when he was talking to her about let the doctor try it and I have good hands and then massages her, maybe it's on purpose feeling forced, or maybe it's just the actors don't have the chemistry to carry off dialogue that the writers were trying to make romantic. I smelled no romance on that. The fourth thing is they're both kind of mousy and blah left to their own, and then blah plus blah is exponential blah. And I think seeing them in a relationship would be about as exciting as watching paint dry. For a long time, for years, I just found Hope kind of dull, and just mousy and, oh, I'm trying to be a good girl, even when she wasn't. I never really liked her until she got with Thomas. And it wasn't even necessarily her being in the romance with Thomas. It was what that sparked in her. She's now speaking up, standing up for herself, pushing back on her mother, pushing back on Liam. She's speaking her truth. She's like looking sexier. She's got better hair. She's not dressing like Sears from 1973. I mean, her breaking out of that shell has been amazing. Before Thomas, she was just blah vanilla. And without him in her life, she may revert back to blah vanilla. And Finn, he's a very sweet, very nice guy. That's why they brought Sheila Carter back to be his mother, because he had no edge. And she is the only edge that he has, the only exciting thing about him. He has a nice body. He's very handsome. He and Steffy, a sizzling connection. But other than that, he's just a good guy. He's also very vanilla. And when you put vanilla with vanilla, you get more vanilla. You don't have fireworks. That's where I am with them. Last but not least, Finn with Hope would sink them deeper into Sheila and Deacon's life, which I think is problematic. And, their parents are getting married. So just first of all, by the end of this week, those two are going to be step siblings. So, ew, just right off the cuff, even though they're step siblings as adults, didn't grow up together, step siblings, it's just edging into icky. We know B&B likes to do icky, but still grosses me out. Second of all, his his mom being married to her dad means that their parents would expect that, of course, neither of them would object to their marriage, and then they would probably expect them to spend time together if Finn were with Hope. You know, they might want them to double date. Can you imagine a double date with those two and Sheila and Deacon? I mean, that's disturbing. So those are my reasons I have issues with it, but I feel in my gut that Bold is going to try to push this on us. So tell me what you think. Is Bold indeed dropping hints that they're about to put Finn with Hope? And when Thomas's return long overdue, will he come back to the doctor splitting from Steffy and going for consolation in Hope's arms? So then Thomas and Steffy, you know, have all this drama to deal with? Maybe. And it would, you know, it could be soapy drama if Finn and Hope had any spark at all. We'll see how it goes. Drop your comments, subscribe if you haven't. Definitely come back soon because we are talking Bold and the Beautiful 7 days a week. And I'm your host, Belinda from Soap Dirt.
Thank you for being a loyal listener. Follow us wherever you get your podcast because you don't want to miss the next episode. Soap Dirt is on all the major podcast platforms, including Apple Podcast, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and more.